Yo, what's up everyone? Back for this Wednesday slate. We're going to look at the early slate for DraftKings in this video. Looking like another great night. It's going to be at least a great night on FanDuel. DraftKings is looking pretty good too. Pitchers were great, Bueller and Flaherty, and the bats are coming through. Once again, did not stack cores, and it is paying off. So made a lot of money the last couple nights not stacking cores. Let's stay hot today. So let's get right into it. You can drop a like and subscribe down below, and you can visit the website. We'll be playing both slates today. Starting off at pitcher, I like Sonny Gray here at 10-2. Just a really good option, I think. He's been so good this season. He has just been one of the best pitchers in baseball. If you look at the advanced numbers, the ERA and everything isn't great. I mean, the ERA is solid, but it's not like spectacular. But the advanced numbers, the PCRA, all that stuff are looking really good for him. The Cubs lineup, there are a few pieces to worry about, but Sonny Gray has had some success against this team. He's held opponents to under a 360 slugging. He's held righties under 360 slugging. The lefties are where the power is at on the Cubs, and he's held them to only a 201 average and a 317 slugging, besides Baez, who's a righty. And then the advanced numbers are also great, 26% to righties, 30% to lefties. xFIP is looking really good at both sides. Doesn't give up very many fly balls. Under 30% fly ball rate. Feel like Sonny Gray's in a pretty good spot given the lack of pitching options on the slate. I'm going to lock him in as my first guy. I'm definitely not going to pay $9,600 for Ponce de Leon, even though he's been pretty good. I think Archer's a decent play. And then down here, I kind of like Martin Perez. I like targeting lefties against the Mets, especially a lefty who's been pretty good this season and has a lot of upside, and a lefty that's going to be a heavy favorite here against Jason Vargas at only 7,900. Martin Perez goes very deep into games, looking at 90 to 100 pitches at least. He goes, he's pretty efficient and doesn't get a ton of walks. Usually he's going 6-7 innings, and he should get some run support here, and he has had some big games with like 30 points. I think he's in for a good outing, and he's at a very fair price tag at $79. So that leaves you with almost $4,000 left for the hitters. Today I am very high on the Twins are my favorite stack. I like the Braves righties, even though they're very expensive on DraftKings. I think on FanDuel they make for a great stack. I like the lefties from the Cincinnati Reds. I like few Rockies, and I like some A's that are cheap, but mainly my interest is going to lie with the Twins and a few Rockies. At first base, I absolutely love CJ Cron today. $3,700 is way too cheap for CJ Cron. He mashes left-handed pitching, and he's been very good this season for power, hits for a decent average, and he's very cheap. This season he is batting a remarkable .358 against left-handed pitching and 81 at-bats. He has 7 home runs. That gives him a really nice ISO at 321, a 6.79 slugging percentage, just a 12% strikeout rate, which is awesome to see. He has only a 24% fly ball rate, which doesn't make a ton of sense, but I still think he's a really good option here. Given how bad Vargas can be at times, I mean, he can be good at times, but he can also be very bad at times. And I'm pretty sure Cron has had some success against Vargas. At this price tag, he's very appealing, given his numbers against lefties this season. And if we look at his career numbers against lefties, I'm sure he's also very good against lefties for his career. 276, batting average is 22 points higher. ISO is higher, everything's higher. And the fly ball rate's back to where it should be, 40%. So just a small sample size, 81 at-bats this season. But career-wise, everything checks out for Cron. Next up at third base, I am going to go with Marwin Gonzalez. Very cheap here at $3,700. He hits right in the heart of the lineup, and he's been hitting the ball very well. A couple of 3-hit games for him recently. Batting average is up to 260 with 10 home runs. He started the season off batting like in the 100s for a good part of the season, a good month of the season. But since that point, he's really taken off. He's really got his timing down and everything. He's also very good against left-handed pitching, and Vargas is not a scary option. Against lefties this season, he's batting .324 with 3 of his 10 home runs and just 68 at-bats. He has some power, 191 ISO, 16% K rate only, and he has 46.4% hard hit rate. And career-wise, I'm sure he's just like Cron. He's been pretty good against lefties. He's been, numbers are pretty much the same, but this season he is very good against lefties, and he's at a very fair price tag. In the outfield, I'm gonna go with Charlie Blackmon, just because I think the Rockies are not gonna bust again. And after not being on them heavily the first two, only had Arenado the last 2 days from the Rockies. I think today's a good day to get a few of them, just because people might be tired of playing them if they played them the last 2 days. And Blackmon is just very, very good. It's insane how good he is at home in Coors. He's batting almost like over 450 at home in Coors. 426, so it went down a little bit, but still 426 average at home. Against righties, 335 average, a 309 ISO, 644 slugging percentage, 40% hard hit rate, and a 40% fly ball rate. And Sean Anderson is a low strikeout pitcher, so the Rockies should be able to put the ball in play, and they can find some gaps here and have some big games, even though Anderson's not much of a fly ball pitcher. In this park, the ball should fly. It's supposed to be almost like high 90s in temperature. He's been bad against lefties, 450 slugging given up, just an 11% strikeout rate to lefties this season. I think they're going to do some damage, a 43% hard hit rate. I definitely like Blackmon here at 58. And then I'm going to go with Chris Davis. Like a few of the A's, especially a guy like Chris Davis, who's so cheap here. 3,600 is extremely cheap. He's going to get to face an opener, so he's going to get to face a righty. And then he's going to get to face Tommy Milone, a lefty, who does give up a lot of power, even though he's been decent this year. And we know the Seattle has one of the worst bullpens in the league in terms of ERA and giving up home runs. Davis has been great against lefties, and he should get to face Milone for like 2 or 3 at-bats. 269 average, 7 home runs, 269 ISO, 538 slugging percentage. And he's a very streaky hitter. He's not been great this season at all. He's been in a little bit of a fluke, but his price tag is at a point where, if he has a home run or even if he has a couple of hits, you're getting a really nice return on the price tag, and the A's should be able to put up some runs here against this terrible Seattle pitching. So those are 6 players that I like. Like I said, I'm going to be pretty high on the Twins. So if we look here at some other guys that I like, I think Shoop is interesting at 42, and Polanco, I like him. Even like Eddie Rosario, he's been good against lefties. Lefty-lefty matchup, nobody's going to really play him, but look at his numbers. He's been good against lefties, and he's at a very fair price tag at 42. Into this game, I think not going to have that much interest in any hitters really from this game. I think there are some better spots today. Here on the Braves, they're very, very expensive, so they make for a GPP stack, but Anderson's very bad against righties, and they have a ton of right-handed power. Acuna, Riley, Donaldson, Swanson, and even Freeman make for a tremendous GPP stack because nobody's going to stack them with their high prices. But they can go off here to get a nice ballpark upgrade. And the Brewers, I think they are a decent play against Keuchel. Not going to have a ton of them. Just going to have a few righties. If you think you can consider some of the righties like Braun and Kane. Not going to be heavy on the Brewers at all. Over here, Darvish has really bad against lefties. So I like Jesse Winker at 3,500. I like him. I like Votto. I like Dietrich if he's in there. And I like Scooter Gennett is dirt cheap at 32. Coors is Coors. You can stack it up if you want to. I think I'm definitely going to be interested in the Rocky side. Not going to have a lot of interest in the Giants. My favorite is Blackmon, followed by Arenado, Story, then Dahl. But they're pretty expensive. But getting a couple of Rockies, I think, is a decent option today. And here on the A's, I like Davis a lot at 3,600. Laureano is so much more expensive than Davis. I would definitely play Davis if I was just picking one. Simeon's a decent option, as is Matt Olson. So those are some other players you can consider. That's what I'd like for this DraftKings early slate. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed. And you can check out the website. And good luck.